This is the Jenks podcast, one day out from the NFL draft. This is the biggest episode all year long, mock draft time. Jenks is going to be giving his, I'm going to be giving mine. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
Here we go!
Right into our mock draft extravaganza. My draft is not going to have any trades. Hammers does have trades. So that's going to be a little bit of difference between our two drafts. Compare them at the end. So at number 1, I got Caleb Williams. As suspected, he's the number 1 pick. There's no surprise there. Number 2, I got Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders. That's something that a lot of people have, and I think it's going to stay true throughout the draft. And I think Jaden Daniels is really, really good for them. Number 3, I got Drake May going to the Patriots. There's a little bit of discussion. Is it Drake May? Is it J.J. McCarthy? Whose job is it going to be? But I think it's going to be Drake May's. He's a lot of potential. And like Hammer said yesterday, it's going to be tough for him if he gets put in as a starter right away. But if he's given a little bit of time to sit behind Jacoby Brissett for maybe a few games, I think it'll help him a lot. Number 4, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. coming in to the Arizona Cardinals team, being a great receiver for them. Hammer didn't like the use of Maserati Marv there. He didn't understand it.
Crazy.
But he's not a college football guy. But anyways, number 5, you got Malik Neighbors going to the Chargers. And I think, the Chargers, they need to replace these receivers that they just lost. And Justin Herbert's going to have a great weapon with Malik Neighbors. So I see that being a dual threat for years to come. Number 6, there's the debate here. Giants, where do they go? Do they go quarterback? Do they trade back? Do they go receiver? With the top 2 receivers being taken, I got them going J.J. McCarthy at number 6, a guy that Hammer and I both said you can plug and play, get him in the right system, and he'll be all right for you guys. So J.J. McCarthy, you're a Giant. Number 7, Joe Alt. This is a consensus pick for them. They need a tackle. He's the best in the draft. Number 8, the Foul Clowns are going Dallas Turner from Alabama, a guy that's a great edge. He's explosive, speedy as hell, and the guy that I would want the Saints to pick, unfortunately, lands in Atlanta. Number 9, we got Rome Odunze going to Chicago for Caleb Williams. His receiver room is going to be loaded. He's going to have a lot of weapons to throw to, and I think they're going to be giving Caleb Williams a great place to be in Chicago. Number 10, Hammer and I have discussed this pick numerous days in a row now, and we're both kind of getting to that consensus where I think been selected a receiver or a tight end in the first round in 16 years. And I think that streak comes to an end. The Jets take Brock Bowers. Then, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. We said that 11, 12, 13, they all need quarterbacks. But which quarterback do they get? And at number 11, I got the Vikings going Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington, a guy that I think is the most pro. I think he can be the most pro ready in this draft class out of after the top 2, obviously, or top 3. I mean, out of a guy like Bo Nix or him, or even J.J. McCarthy, I think he has the most potential just to be an explosive quarterback in this draft class. So it makes sense for him to be throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison. Number 12, Bo Nix goes to the Denver Broncos. Hammer said it yesterday. He thinks that, it's a great fit for him. And I think that's kind of where Sean Payton is able to go in, get a quarterback that fits into his mold that he can kind of put in, build the system around. Number 13, going to the Raiders, they got Alu Fashanu, a guy that I wish the Saints would take, but they missed out on all the quarterbacks, right? So what are they going to do? The quarterbacks are gone. They missed out. They might trade up. Who knows? Hammer might be discussing that. I'm not sure. I don't know his draft, but the Raiders miss out, so they go tackle Alu Fashanu. 14, my Saints just miss out on our guy, Alu Fashanu, the guy that I've been saying is the dream pick. So we go and get Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State, a guy that's a right tackle. Ryan Ramchik's on his way out for the Saints. I think it's a good spot for him, and I think it's a good fit. He had a great Senior Bowl. I love the pick, love the prospect. Number 15, Quinyon Mitchell goes to the Colts, a guy that I think has been, a great consensus guy for the Colts. And I think it's kind of, they need that physical corner. And I think that's what Quinyon Mitchell brings to the table. Number 16, an in-state school player goes to the in-state team. Seattle Seahawks take Troy Fautanu from Washington. I think this is a great fit for them. They need a lineman that can kind of do whatever they need. And that's Troy Fautanu's build. He's versatile. He can kind of move all across the line. And that's what he's going to do here in Washington, in Seattle. Number 17, we got Terrion Arnold going to Jacksonville Jaguars, a guy that they need for a corner. I think he's probably the most pro-ready, most all-around corner, and the most confident and intelligent in the draft. His interview, his pre-draft combine interviews blew everyone away. Terrion Arnold, great pick for the Jaguars. Number 18, we saw Joe Burrow get hurt yet again. This time it was in practice at first. Then in the season, he got hurt again. His protection hasn't been the best for him. And I think they can still work on improving that just a little bit more. They take J.C. Latham out of Alabama, tackle, bigger guy, right tackle. That's what they need. 19, Rams. What the hell are the Rams going to do here? They're kind of in the weeds a little bit. You don't know what they're going to do. They could trade back. They could take someone random. They can kind of go best player available here, in my opinion. So I got them going Byron Murphy for the defensive tackle, replacing Aaron Donald, who just retired. I think it's a great fit. They're getting the young guy that they can build to kind of be that Aaron Donald replacement. He's not going to be as good, I don't believe. No one believes that right now, but I think he's going to be solid for them for years to come. Then at number 20, this is kind of where it's like in my brain, I'm like, I want to trade because the Steelers, I don't know if they need anyone in this 2020 pick. I could see them trading back for a team that's like, oh, I want to go get someone before someone else picks them. But I got him going Graham Barton out of Duke, a guy that they could put anywhere on the O-line. That's kind of what they need right now. Just a versatile O-line, like a couple other teams I've mentioned so far. Number 21, the Dolphins. Do they go receiver? Do they go something random here? I could see that happening, going receiver. Mike McDaniel, he wants a guy like that, just another speedy weapon to put into the team. So Brian Thomas Jr. is there, but I don't see them going there. I got them going Latu out of UCLA, a good edge to bring to the table for that team that they need a better defense. Their defense is solid already, but adding another explosive edge to that team would be awesome for them. Then number 22, the Eagles. Do they go Cooper? Do they Cooper DeJean? Do they go a couple other guys here? And I got them going Jared Verse, a guy that I think matches the kind of physicality, the team, like just the team chemistry. If they add Jared Verse, fits very well. I think he's a physical guy. Just to go and get him bulldog. That's what he is. He's just going to punch everyone in the mouth every single play. That's what the Eagles defense is all about. So they're going Jared Verse at 22. 23, Vikings. They already picked, who did I have them pick? They had Michael Penix. Now they got another need that they can fill immediately with that 23 pick. They're going Johnny Newton out of Illinois, a guy that Hammer and I both like a lot out of our defensive tackle class, a guy that I think should be higher up in the draft boards. But right now, every team needs an offensive player other than corners. So these defensive tackles and other defensive players are kind of getting hurt in the draft stock. So he's going to end up a little bit lower at 23. 24, I got Amarius Mims going to the Dallas Cowboys, a bigger tackle that the Cowboys are all about, those just road paving linemen that just can run down the field and light anyone up. That's Amarius Mims' build. That's what he can do. He's going to take a little bit of time to get to there, but I think that's a good Cowboys pick. Number 25, hammer. So Packers are on the clock. What do the Packers go and do? Hammer told me the other day he listened to the GM's Kunst. He listened to his whole press conference, and he said he described one player all press conference, a guy that can play corner or safety, versatile all over the defense. Cooper DeJean gets picked to the Cheeseheads, and Hammer's ecstatic. He buys his jersey the next day. That's going to happen on Thursday night.
Let's go,
26. Yeah, there you go. Hammer's finally chimed in. At number 26, the Buccaneers. What the hell are they going to do? They can kind of go at a wide range of places, and I don't care about the Bucs. They suck. Ever since Tom Brady left, they're reeling. They won the division last year. I don't care. Who gives a crap? Nate Wiggins. They make a mistake here. Choose Nate Wiggins, the scrawny cornerback. Nate Wiggins, if you see this, I mean this, and no hate to you. I'm a scrawny cornerback. I've seen scrawny quarterbacks been able to do it, but I think it's against the Saints. He's going to need a little bit of work. So Nate Wiggins, your Buccaneer. Number 27, Kool-Aid McKinstry goes to the Cardinals. A guy that they have a few different needs they need, but they filled the receiver. They filled the receiver room, obviously, with Marvin Harrison Jr. Now they go get a corner in Kool-Aid McKinstry. 28, the Bills go and get their guy for Josh Allen for years to come. Brian Thomas Jr. is a Buffalo Bill. This is a guy that can do the deep threat that Gabe Davis was for the last few years. And he also has good hands to kind of fill that Stephon Diggs role. Obviously not the same, a little bit of a hybrid between the two. But I think it's a great fit for them, along with Khalil Shakir that they already have, as well as Curtis Samuel. That's a great receiving room for them, and I think it's a great pick for the Buffalo Bills. Number 29, the Detroit Lions going to take Chop Robinson to pair across. Oh God, Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson comes in. He's got a great partner on the other side now. Now he can be 10 times more aggressive. And I know Hammer's a little bit scared, a little bit of poop dripping down Hammer's leg right now. But the the Lions take a great speed edge out of Penn State. So Hammer's wearing a Penn State shirt for everyone that's watching or listening. You can't see it. Then at number 38, this is the kind of a consensus pick for me. I've picked him in every single mock draft I've done. Adonai Mitchell goes to the Baltimore Ravens, a guy who had one drop this past season in college. Goes a great fit for Lamar Jackson and the other Ravens players. And I think that offense will be humming with another great receiver in that offense. 31, we got Tyler Guyton going to the 49ers, a guy that I think should be going a little bit earlier in this draft. But as I said, I think he kind of got pushed down just because of these edges getting picked in this later 20s, these mid-20s, things like that, brought him down a little bit more. I mean, he's not going to mind going and playing with Trent Williams and these guys in the 49ers. 32, the Chiefs. We all know they need a receiver. Rashee Rice, an idiot, driving around town, going 130 on a 70-mile-per-hour, 60-mile-per-hour road, being an idiot. He's going to be out at least a few games, possibly the rest of his career, depending on how his legal situation goes. They need a receiver. And who do they go and get but besides Keon Coleman, a guy out of Florida State that I think can be one of the most explosive players in this draft class as a receiver. I had him high in my rankings as a receiver. I think he is that explosive guy who has good hands, but his speed is obviously, it's not very high. But I think it's his in-game play speed that matters. He's hard to bring down. He makes great catches. That's what the Chiefs need.
Nice job, Jenks. That was good. I liked it. That was good. I liked it.
Pretty damn good mock right there.
We got 12 picks right.
Okay.
Pretty
so
good.
what picks do we have the same?
Pretty
picks do we have the same? Oh, I guess
we'll go through
yours.
I'll let you know.
We'll go through yours.
I mean,
first.
so I made trades, but even with making trades, we still have the same team selecting the same players. So interesting. We're kind of on the right track. 12. That's a little less than half. So very good. All right, break and
I'll
then
take
my
notes.
mock draft. All right, it's time for my mock draft. This one's got some trades, a total of 4 trades. This is the fun draft, so let's get right into it. All right, number 1, Caleb Williams. 2, Jaden Daniels. 3, the surprise, J.J. McCarthy goes to New England over Drake May. Michigan quarterback who is more pro-ready in my opinion and, doesn't have the better upside but is ready to go. I think Robert Kraft is going to like that. Number 4, Marvin Harrison. 5, here we go, the first trade. The Vikings are going to trade up with the Chargers. The Chargers are going to trade number 5, and the Vikings are going to trade number 11, 23, and a 2025 third-round pick. And with the 5th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings are going to select Drake May. At 6, Giants go Malik Neighbors. 7, Joe Alt. 8, Dallas Turner. To the Falcons. 9, Bears go Rome Odunze. 10, Jets go Brock Bowers. 11, another trade. This one's this was the trade with Minnesota. So the Chargers are on the clock at 11. They're going to go Talise Faraga. Ooh, these last names, whatever. Butcher them a little bit. But if you don't butcher them, you're not doing it right. All right, number 12. This is the next trade. The Denver Broncos. They're going to trade back with the Eagles. They're going to trade number 12. The Eagles are going to trade 22, 50, their second-round pick, and a 2025 third. And with that selection, they're going to get Terrion Arnold. Yep, wow. They jump up. They grab the best DB corner in the class. And mainly, right, they're jumping Jacksonville and the Colts that are really heavy favorites to get these top 2 corners in Arnold and Mitchell. All right, at number 13, the Raiders. They don't move up for a quarterback. They don't move back a little bit. They stay where they are. They take Michael Penix. At 14, I got a trade with the Saints. The Saints are going to trade back to 17 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Saints are going to trade 14. Jags are going to send 17, 96, which is a third-round pick, and pick 116 to the Saints, which I believe is like a 4th. So Saints move back 3 spots. They pick up a 3rd and a 4th. Pretty good. So with that pick at 14, the Jags are going to take Quinyon Mitchell, jumping the Colts to go get their cornerback. 15, the Colts, 2 corners, got away from them, but that's all good. They stay on the defense side of the ball. They get Jared Verse. At 18, same pick as Jenks right here. Seattle Seahawks bring in Troy Fatanu. Versatile offense lineman, can play guard, tackle, stays home, stays in the state. At 17, now this is the Saints. They, trade back 3 spots, pick up a 3rd and 4th, and they still get their guy in Olu. Jenks, pronounce it for me. Pronounce it for me.
Olu Fashanu
Good.
Hammer.
Good. So they trade back 3 spots, and they still get their guy. At number 18, Bengals, J.C. Latham. Bengals have done a good job these past couple of years, kind of revamping that offensive line, getting good tackles. But here's a guy who can kind of be that swing tackle, but he can be a starter at guard for them. So, I like to pick there for them. That seems like a big, fan favorite Bengals pick right there. At number 19, I got the Rams going. Byron Murphy, got to replace Aaron Donald somehow. Me and Jenks got that one right. He's definitely the best interior defense lineman in this class. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded than Johnny Newton. At number 20, the Steelers. This one's interesting. I think, Brian Thomas Jr. is still on the board. Maybe they could go receiver. I don't know. I kind of like that. That wouldn't be bad. Maybe they trade number 20 for Brandon Ayuk on draft night. Maybe. But you know what? I think Mike Tomlin, he knows how you win football games, and that's up front. He's going to go with another Georgia lineman like he did last year. The teammates reunite. He's going to Amarius Mims, big upside player. And Amarius Mims and Broderick Jones, 2 tackles, Georgia Bulldogs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Steeler fans are going to like that. At 21, Dolphins lose Christian Wilkins. I think they bring in a really talented, a little bit undersized, but, a impact player coming up the middle, and that's Johnny Newton. At 22, so this was the trade back with the Eagles. This is the Eagles spot. They traded up to get Terrion Arnold. The Broncos are at 22 now. They are selecting their quarterback, Bo Nix. So, yes, I have 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. Bo Nix sneaks in there. Denver's unable to get that trade up. They trade back, pick up a 2nd, pick up a 3rd for next year, I believe I said. And then they get their, kind of system quarterback with a lot of experience that I think Sean Payton's going to really like we talked about on yesterday's episode. At 23, so this was the Vikings pick. Of course, they traded up for Drake May, and this pick goes to the Chargers. Hey, the Chargers, they're in a spot to go get Malik Neighbors. You don't get him, but you get his teammate to help out Justin Herbert. You're going to get Brian Thomas Jr. at 23. Wow. I like that pick. I think that's a fun fantasy pickup. That's definitely a fun fantasy pickup. At 24, I got the Cowboys going Tyler Guyton. Yep, building up that offensive line. Big dude. Like Jenks says, they like offensive linemen who can move. Tyron Smith is headed to the Jets. They got to fill that gap. They're going to get Tyler Guyton. At number 25, this is the Green Bay Packers, but there's a trade. They're trading back to 29 with the division rival, the Detroit Lions. Yes, there's a division trade that takes place. The Lions are going to jump Tampa and Arizona, kind of teams that, need pass rushers. There's 2 pass rushers on my board right now, Chop Robinson and Latu, right? So they're going to jump them to kind of get their selection, their pick. So the trade details, Green Bay is going to trade 25. The Lions are going to trade 29 and 73, which is their 3rd round pick. So Green Bay, my perspective right here, I look at the board. There's a couple guys I like. There's some pass rushers. Green Bay isn't really in the market for one. Hey, let's move back. I like there's Graham Barton, there's Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins on the board. Let's move back. Let's pick up another 3rd rounder, and let's see what happens in front of us. So with that pick at 25, the Lions are going Chop Robinson, getting that speed rusher. Jenks had the same pick. I like it. I just see him. And that leaves 26. I think this works out for Tampa Bay because, Lions got the choice of the pass rusher, but I think Bucs still got their guy. I got him going Latu at 26. He falls a little bit due to the injuries. And yeah, that's a hell of a pick for Tampa. At 27, I kind of thought 27 for Arizona, a team that has a lot of needs, right? A lot of holes to fill. Let's take the best player on the board. In my opinion, that's Nate Wiggins. Fast, speedy corner, a little undersized, but I mean, if let's say he weighed in at 185, 190, I
Yeah,
think there's an argument
he's
that
up
he's
there.
the best, that he could be the number one corner taken on, right? Number one corner taken off the board, right? Over
I can see it.
Arnold's, right? Or maybe even two. He's definitely more polished than Quinyon Mitchell. So I like Nate Wiggins a lot. He goes to Arizona at 28. Buffalo. I have a feeling they're not going to take this guy. I have a feeling they're not going to take a receiver. And Buffalo's going to be mad. They're going to get like an offensive lineman or like defensive player. But Buffalo, I'm here for you. At 28, I got him going. Adonai Mitchell from Texas. Dude's a freak. The RES score is like a 9.9. Does it all. There's your replacement for Stephon Diggs. At 29, now my Green Bay Packers on the board. There's a couple of options right here. Cooper DeJean, Graham Barton, the two guys that I'm looking at right now. This is what I want to happen. I got him going Cooper. That's who they're taking right now. Versatile player. He plays safety, nickel, corner. Basically draft him and then play out the rest of the draft, see where it goes. And, let's say you get a corner in that later round. All right, he's your safety. If not, you pick up a safety, then he's your corner, So he's kind of just your problem solver. My prediction, though, I'm just going to say real quick. I think Green Bay does trade back like this, maybe even deeper to like 31, 32, or even early second round. And I think they get an offensive lineman, a versatile one like a Jordan Morgan, Graham Barton. That would be kind of my prediction, a little bit more realistic. But that's my kind of dream fit. Hey, we got Xavier McKinney in free agency. I'm feeling good. That was my dream free agency signing. So let's get the dream draft prospect, right? At 20 and at 30, here we go. I got the Ravens going receiver, and I got him going Keon Coleman.
That'd be electric. Yeah.
Big dude, like Jenks says, plays faster on the field. Flowers is your slot, kind of little guy. Keon Coleman is your big guy. Two players that can just, pretty damn good after the catch. Explosive playmakers for Lamar Jackson. At number 31, I got the 49ers going Graham Barton. Versatile offensive lineman. You could play him all five spots. I love him. I was tough choosing between him and Cooper for the Packers, but the Niners get a really good player. Smart player, too, from Duke. Keep that in mind. That's important. IQ, right? And then at number 32, this is kind of a surprise pick. He jumps into the first round. I like him a lot. Chiefs need a receiver. Xavier Legette from South Carolina. Did I say the last
Ooh.
name? Did I
Yeah,
say that
Xavier,
right?
Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I like
yeah, I
that.
think that's a surprise one. But, I mean, dude, you watch the tape, and he's just a freak
He's a
he's a
dog.
freak athlete. I think the Chiefs I think that's a home run hit for them. So it's just some notes, right, to go over my draft. There's 4 trades. 6 quarterbacks went, 7 receivers went, 8 offensive linemen went, 10 players on defense yet went. So all that together, that's 31, and of course 32 because of that one tight end. But as you can see, we're gonna post it later. But like from 16 to 21, I kind of have a run on the big boys, offensive linemen, D tackles, kind of go in that range, and then in the late kind of like 25 to 32, right? That's when like some of the edge rushers go, receivers go, and DBs go. That's how I feel like the draft's gonna play out. Jenks, what do you think?
I think like the biggest thing I disagreed with for your draft so far had to have been the trade with the Packers and Lions. And here's
Yeah,
why. Here's why. I think I could see the trade possibly happening, right? I could see the Lions trading with the Packers, holding hands, being friends for 1 second. But I think the Packers got to take more, man. I think the Packers end up taking at least a pick or 2 more just purely because it's in division. You guys are going to have to
yeah,
face
of
them 2
course.
times in the
Yeah,
season. So I think that could definitely happen, as well as I love the Xavier Get pick. I think I'm surprised that Graham Barton and Latu fall as far as they do. I'm a little bit surprised by those two, but everything else is pretty solid. And I think I like the trades for the most part. The Saints, I don't mind it as long as we get Alu. I'm happy. I'm very happy with
I think
that.
that's a good trade. Look, I didn't want to go over the top with trades. Of course, I could have done like
Yeah.
swaps in like the 5th round and stuff. I wasn't going that crazy, but I
No,
had
yeah,
fun.
no, I
I
thought it
had
was
fun
solid.
with it. But
I
yeah,
thought it
I
was
mean,
solid, and I think the trades are realistic, and I think the picks that go with them are realistic as well. And I'll just say this really quickly. I mean, I had a trade draft that the only two trades that happened were the Vikings trading with the Giants. The Vikings would get JJ McCarthy. The Giants would then get Alu Fashanu and Cooper DeJean at
at
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah, and then I had the Bills trading with the Eagles. The Bills hop the Giants at 23. The Giants are there thinking, "Oh, we're going to get a receiver." The Bills go ahead of them, get Brian Thomas Jr., snatch it from their hands, and get Brian Thomas Jr., the guy that they wanted all along. So I think both of us have solid drafts, have solid mock drafts. We'll see how it plays out Thursday.
All right, so that's gonna conclude our mock drafts. I like our mock drafts. Pretty interesting. We're gonna post them on Instagram, Twitter. We want to hear you guys' thoughts. What picks make sense? What picks don't make sense? But man, we're excited for Thursday. And before we get out of here, big movie trailer got released. Of course, Jenks has got to break it down for us, give us his thoughts. So, Jenks, let's hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know me, big movie nerd of the podcast. Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, the official final trailer released. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, Monday. Yeah, yesterday. So an amazing trailer, and it was 2 minutes of just Wolverine and Deadpool being badasses, and there's like a scene where they walk out behind a van, and it's just like that is like the dream, that is a male dream right there. Seeing those two come out together, just
Walk out
looking
of a
like
van.
badasses. They walk out from
Uh,
behind the van. They just look sick. That's like every male duo on Halloween. That's what they're gonna be right there. Hammer and I, we would be that if we could. But anyways, it was a sick trailer. Hammer's never seen any of the Deadpool movies or the X-Men movies. So the guy has zero clue what's going on. And even he is like, this looks sick. But I'm like, dude, you got to watch the originals first. But it's
yeah.
going to be an awesome movie. It might be top 3 Marvel movies of all time. It has the possibility to do that. But I don't want it to be another Ant-Man 3 letdown, or another Doctor Strange letdown. So I'm trying to reserve a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I mean, let's not. I like Marvel. Let's not get that confused. Like, I don't like Marvel. I do. I never watched the X-Men movies of Deadpool growing up. I don't know. I like Captain America
You're
and
missing
Iron
out.
Man and all those good guys. So that was just me. But Jenks. I mean, this is gonna be the last time we're talking to everyone before the drafts, and then we're gonna be talking to them after, kind of reactions, grading teams. So what are your final thoughts heading to the draft? As the draft as a whole ends for the Saints.
As for the draft as a whole, I think it's going to be a very surprising draft. I think there's going to be a lot of moves that shock people. Like, we both did our best to try to predict them, right? Like, we tried. But I see it being very, very just very surprising. There's going to be a few moves that people don't suspect. I know Antonio Brown is predicting that the Chargers are going to trade Justin Herbert to the Vikings. I don't see that happening necessarily, but that's what some people are saying could happen. Something like that, if that does happen, would shock the NFL. It would be awesome. Just
I don't know
draft day
about that.
move.
I'll say one realistic one. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm just saying one. Ayuk to the Steelers for pick 20.
I've seen that. I feel like you pick 20 is realistic too, because they still have to pay him as well. So it's kind of like we're trading him just to get rid of him and also get a pick. So it works for both teams. I could see that happening for sure. And then as far as the Saints go, if we get Brock Bowers or Alu Fashanu or Talisa Fuaga in the first round, I'm a happy man. So I'm praying for one of those three.
So those are your 3 guys.
Those are my 3.
Okay.
What about you, Hammer? Packers.
If I had to say 3 guys for the pack, it's got to be Cooper, Graham Barton. 3 would have to be Tyler Guyton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Guyton. OU
Guyton,
player.
it
He's
would
solid.
be Guyton / Kool-Aid.
/ Kool-Aid. Okay.
I like Kool-Aid a lot. His athletic profile doesn't match up to the Packers first round, pick usually. It's a little
Yeah.
less. but I think he makes a lot of sense for this new defensive scheme in Green Bay. But yeah, I'm excited. All right, quick questions for you. How many quarterbacks are taken in the first round? I know, like,
Six.
you did your mock, but like,
I think
let's say
six.
there's some trades and this and that. You say 6, so you say Bo Nix is a first.
Yeah, I think all 6 of them are first this year.
Okay.
It's going to happen. A lot of teams need quarterbacks. So
Okay. Over under 8 offensive linemen. Go.
I'm going to say, I think we were at over. I think I was at over in my mock, and I think it'll stay that way. It's like the top.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fashanu, right?
I had 8. I had
Waga,
8.
Joe Alt, Latham, Barton,
Mims.
Mims, Fuaga. I don't know if I said him.
Yeah.
Or not Fuaga, but the guy from Fautanu is 7. I'm gonna say over. Screw it.
Over. All right. How many receivers go? You think? I mean, I think we know there's 4, right? I think you can add the Texas guy at the end. That's 5. So let's say 6. Over under 6.
I think under.
I think under 6. So I had 7.
Because
Interesting.
you had 7, so
I had 7.
it'd probably be over. Because we got Neighbors, MHJ.
The 3,
You got
right? You got the 3, Thomas, Texas.
and then Brian Thomas, Adonai Mitchell, Keon Cole. I'm gonna go 5.
I think Keon Coleman sneaks into the first round. I think that's there's been a lot of talk about that. I think
So
he
that'd
sneaks
be-
in, and I think Leggett can sneak in too.
Oh, and Rome too. I forgot Rome. So that's 6. I think it'd be 6. 6 on the dot.
6 on the dot.
Yeah.
How many tight ends get taken?
1. Get out of
Oh,
here.
I thought I was gonna get you there.
No, not even gonna get into.
I thought I was gonna get
Tight
you
end
there.
class
All right.
sucks. Outside of Brock Bowers, it's just like the most meh thing
Yeah.
I've witnessed.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one thing. I think a couple picks are not even. I think maybe the first 2 picks are locked in. I think 10 and 9 are locked in. Rome to the Bears, 10, Brock to the Jets. But besides that, it's really just, I don't know. It's open season, and I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of moves made, a lot of trades, a lot more trades than 4, in my opinion. I think, that's going to take place. So,
It could be a lot of moves.
yeah, we're going to be interesting. But, hey, we're going to be breaking it down, picks, maybe every 5-10 picks of the first round on Instagram, Twitter. So make sure to follow us. TikTok, too, maybe. We're going to post our mock drafts on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So make sure you guys follow us. But, yeah, that's going to do it. Next time we'll be talking to you guys, we're going to be reacting to the Packers Saints, the first round, grading teams' overall drafts, and then after that, a week later, 2 weeks later, I think it's scheduled release. So
Yeah, like
we're
midnight.
getting close. We're getting close to the season. Hopefully, Packers Saints in November, so we can go. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Anything else, Jenks?
Nah, I'm good.
Just
You've
make sure
hit
you watch
everything,
draft day. Make sure you watch draft day.
Yeah, gotta watch it.
That's it. That's it. All right,
Yeah, we
awesome.
should get,
All
like,
right.
we should get like sponsored by that movie. They should be like, yeah, we're adding like 1% of the revenue every year because not many people watch that movie. So
Yeah.
sponsor us.
Except for us, there's like 2 guys on that weird Thursday late in April. That
Yeah, like
stream.
who's watching?
Yeah, stream it.
It's
All right.
Jenks and the Hammer.
Well, hey, we just happy draft week. Enjoy it. Hopefully, your team gets who you want. And these 3 days are some of the best 3 days of the NFL offseason. Just enjoy it. All right, be happy. Just be happy. Be nice to everyone. All right. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Jenks and Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks and Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment about these mocks. We want to hear your thoughts. And happy draft week. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!